Next is Charles Siebert. He's also not able to be here. He was a BS graduate in chemical engineering in 1969. You can read about his career in the program. Next we have Jack Swearengen. Jack, oh, there you are. Jack Swearengen graduated from the University of Idaho in 1961 in mechanical engineering and earned a BS in mechanical engineering at the University of Arizona in 1963. He worked 4 years in industry developing automation equipment and then returned to the University of Washington to study for a doctorate. After earning his PhD in mechanical engineering in 1970, Jack joined Sandia National Labs to do research on strength and fracture toughness of materials. In 1981, he moved from materials research to renewable energy, solar, thermal, and fusion, and then to advanced weapons systems development, and finally to arms control and weapons dismantlement. From 1988 to 1991, he served as science advisor for the Secretary of Defense and participated in the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty negotiated in Geneva, Switzerland. Jack's work on nuclear weapons and arms control gave him a first-hand view of how profoundly nuclear weapons had changed the course of history. And it also stimulated a new interest that eventually redirected his career to technology and societal studies. In 1996, Jack accepted an offer from Washington State University to head the engineering programs at Washington State University's brand new campus in Vancouver, Washington. In addition to starting new degree programs in manufacturing, engineering, and computer science, Jack taught systems design, design for manufacture, materials science, operations management, marine design, and manufacturing. His accomplishments included assembling an industrial advisory board, designing laboratories in the new engineering and life sciences building, recruiting both faculty and students, and getting the program accredited by AGET, and securing research grants and publishing. He retired from Wazoo in 2002 and currently is an emeritus professor and founding director of the engineering programs there. In 2002, Jack was recognized by the Society of Manufacturing Engineers for outstanding achievement in education. Previously, he received the Secretary of Defense Award for Excellence, the Joint Ordnance Commanders Group Award of Merit, Sandia Laboratories Presidential Quality Award. He's a member of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers and a fellow of the American Scientific Affiliation. Presently, Jack is chief scientist for Wintergreen LLC, seeking to use wind and solar power to produce anhydrous ammonia from entirely renewable resources. You have to pronounce that correctly for me when we get up here. He spends whatever time is left promoting sustainable transportation and land use, giving talks and writing articles based on his book, Beyond Paradise, Technology and the Kingdom of God. Jack, please come to the podium.
It's anhydrous. It's just the source of nitrogen fertilizer for the Green Revolution. So I just have a few thoughts that I put together on the airplane yesterday, and it goes like this. I earned degrees from 3 universities, but the undergraduate institution is the one that always stays with you. You're fondest of. I get solicitations for funds from 3, and I taught at a 4th, so that's 4. So they all want me to donate, but whatever I have, most of it goes here. So I came to U of I as an adventure. I grew up in California, went to high school there. The adventure was to get as far away as I could from my high school. And I didn't know anybody in the state, never been in the state, had no relative in the state. But I wrote away for catalogs. And they sometimes call them bulletins. Remember those things, big fat books the university would send you? I studied them from several Western universities and picked the University of Idaho. But here I made lifelong friends, met my wife, who's here, learned that kids from small towns and farms are every bit as savvy as kids from city schools. I actually encountered faculty who were willing to let me learn how to study, which I didn't come very well prepared for, and prepared me for either a career in practice or in grad school. I have a couple of thoughts I want to share, reflection type thoughts. I watched on the website the last year's Academy presentations and remarks, and I found more than one who said things like, Idaho is just as good as schools such and such, Cornell, whatever. But I suggest that maybe it should be the other way around. These schools should be looking to Idaho and saying, we're just as good as Idaho, or maybe we're just as good, maybe we can be. Engineering is a profession. Its standards are to admission to the profession are having an accredited degree whose standards are set up by the profession, and in some cases licensing. So the grads from accredited programs are all going to have similar backgrounds, coursework exposure, nothing radically different. So the training is in general common to everyone, every one of us in our curriculum. And the faculty too come from these same ABET accredited programs. So what then sets some institutions apart from others? Well, size. They can be too big and impersonal, or too small with not enough breadth to do broadening of students and research work. The right size is personal with breadth, and here we are, the right size. And then secondly, besides size, faculty who care about students, who want them to succeed. And finally, stimulating opportunities. And I've discovered more than I even knew were here today, such as the Design Expo and the think tank and the Academy of Engineers, which apparently is going to want us to work, to do stuff. And then Sustainable Transportation Research Program. Our country desperately needs that to get off of our dependence on oil. So my experience at the university was transformative. I've stayed connected with the school over the years, and I would say that I am prouder than ever of the university today.